All right, our next couple, we want to get up here. This is James and Nikki Dixon. James is known as the absolute motivator. He is a YouTube and social media sensation, one of the top motivators in the world. He has spoken everywhere on every stage, and they are a power couple. Nikki is by his side, has been by his side for a long time now. She has her own radio station that she's helped all sorts of music artists find their voice, specifically in spirituality, has her own show, and hearing bits and pieces of their story already, I'm so excited because one of the cool things about this show is a lot of times we'll interview guests that one of the two is usually in the spotlight or usually in the limelight, and you hear about them and you know that so many of them have partners by their side that are just rock solid and a huge part of that. And we then get to see that dynamic on this stage. They told me this is the first time they have ever done an interview together as a couple. Yes, wow. Give them a round of applause. That's my favorite thing to hear. So please give a warm, warm welcome to the absolute motivator, James Dixon and Nikki. Come on her. Thanks, brother. There you go. And look, the manners, the relationship on display already. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It gave you Uptown Funk, too.
This is your first interview together.
Yeah. Really.
Hi, thank you so much.
Woo! All right, I just got to point it out because I'm taking notes of the couples we have up here. Did you see how he helps her up those stairs? I love that. Just making sure you're there. I bet you get her doors, too.
Definitely. I do. Either that or she won't open her door.
Will she stand there? Oh, that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here. I didn't even know you were from Utah. I've only seen you and I thought that you were traveling into town. And so I reached out to him after a recent event. I went and was like, next time you're in Utah, we want to see you. And he's like, we live in American Fork, which is like 15 minutes from here. Yes. So I'm like, well, how about Monday night then?
Let's go.
They are.
Man, that's what's amazing. That I love living in Utah because people will be like, man, Thurl Bailey, I love you. And I'm like, no, not him. They're like, oh, Carl. No, different black guy. James. Like, that's me. Yeah. That's me.
Yeah, if you're in Utah and you're a black guy, you're most likely a Utah Jazz player, right? Yeah, that's it. It's gotten a little better over the years, but that's pretty funny. You're way cooler than Thurl Bailey.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, you know, there's 9 of us now in Utah County, so we're proud of that. We're very proud of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we brought our son to like make the numbers odd.
Yeah, this is.
So we've got a third of Utah County there. Yeah, that's fantastic. And it's their son's birthday, James the second. Where is he?
Right there.
Yeah, there he is. I love it. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. So excited. Let's start with the fun question we always start with. How'd you two meet?
Oh, man, I tell you what, I was online in MySpace at the time. And I look over and my friend Tom suggested her. And so I reached out to her and I was like, listen, I'm single. You need me. I'd like to meet you.
You want to tell that lie?
Okay. I actually wrote, hi, you got a great smile.
They were on MySpace, though.
Yeah.
Yes. On my.
So I slid in the DMs. I was the originator of that.
You need to write a second book on that. Yeah,
listen, you got to start off, you can't just jump off with like flirty. I'm just like, great smile, and then pretend like if she doesn't respond to you, not being rejected. I was like, I wasn't chasing you, I just saw your smile, thought I'd comment on it.
No,
Yeah, great smile, the return, I don't care.
Yeah, I said it 3 times because I didn't know the first time if it went through. I didn't know if my AOL connection was right. So then finally, when she responded, you know.
And how long ago was this?
2008.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
2000.
So
Before Facebook. Yep.
Yeah, right before it was leaving. MySpace was leaving and Facebook was coming in. So he was like the last person I talked to on MySpace.
Okay. So he messages you on MySpace and you guys start dating.
Well, wait, you jumped.
Oh.
I will message her and then she wrote me back like, oh my God, it's actually me.
No, I did.
Okay, she didn't do that.
I thought you were a different James Dixon because there's so many of them.
Like, yeah, are you the pastor from Houston? I was like, no.
So he's like, can I call you? And I was like, yeah, you can call. I give him my phone. Well, I give him my phone number, And like
I waited
before I even could hit send, he was calling. It's like he telepathically got.
Yeah, I didn't wait months. I said, yeah, I just want to make sure it wasn't a fake number. So I call her. She
And
is.
he's like,
No, it wasn't that way. I was real cool with it.
No.
And I said, what are you doing? She's like, I'm washing the car. And so I'm thinking, I was like, wait a minute, so what are you wearing? And she was like,
I was like, basketball shorts and flip flops. What are you thinking about?
I thought she had on bikini with heels, washing it.
Doing the suds thing.
I was like, so
This was before FaceTime. Yeah.
we're just going back and forth, and I got a different image than what she's given. But that's literally how we met.
Okay. So you meet online and you're living in different places. Where are you both at this time?
I'm in Houston and he's in.
Indiana.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how does the long distance start? You just start messaging, talking on the phone?
Yeah, we started messaging, talking on the phone. She's blowing me up like I can't live
No.
it. Okay. So anyway, I was calling her all the time. We're talking.
you were a part of my roster.
You know what? You know what? That part's got to be edited out. There was no roster. I was the number one draft pick. So I was the number one draft pick. I don't know where that came. So I went ahead. So I was like, listen, I'm coming to your city. I'm going to be visiting you. You could join me and a group of my friends for dinner so I can get their opinion on her as well. Plus, it'd be a safe.
That's not what you said.
What did I say?
You asked me to dinner.
This could be a while, guys.
I-
We may need to do these interviews separate. Then we'll fact check them after.
So that's how we met. So our first time meeting each other, we went to a dinner date. I came down, it was real smooth down the escalator. Okay, so I came on outside. There she
I was
was,
like, oh God.
and she was like, "Oh my God, it's you."
No, it was like, oh God.
So we get in.
That's, he's getting the oh gods mixed up.
So I'm sitting there, I'm playing it all cool, and she goes, "Don't act like I'm not cute." I was like,
Because, okay, when you see somebody, right, and he was really wrinkled, like wrinkled. I don't know if he just pulled this out of his suitcase and got dressed, like in the bathroom. He was really wrinkled.
Skin there for
So,
his clothes are wrinkled.
so, you know, I'm thinking like, I'm an upgrade, right? I'm already like, yes, I know. Look, I'm the prize.
Yep.
So he gets in the car trying to act cool, and I'm like, don't sit next to me like you don't know I'm cute, right? Like, don't act like you're not butterflying all in your stomach and all in the gut. You were wrinkled.
"Wrinkle like what? Like bad way or what? How was I wrinkled?"
You don't want me to say it.
Then say it, but
You are more wrinkled than a dollar bill at a strip club.
No. That part got me edited out too.
That's going in. If you only do one edit, you gotta pick.
You know, that dollar bill's been in some places.
You know, you be single a long time, and then you get married, and they lay your clothes out. I guess we were headed that route. But that was our first date. We go on a date. It's a chaperone date with like 20 people, and we're communicating. And then she's like, she was a drag racer, and I didn't know that. Literally, she did drag racing. So she's like, hey, this 20 minutes, no, we're
45 minutes away.
45 minutes away from seeing downtown the waterfall. You want to see it? I was like, yeah. But it's,
It closed in 20 minutes, so we had to get.
so she said, I can get us there. I'm a drag racer. So she takes off. She's like,
That's badass.
don't worry. Me driving on the shoulder is okay. I only need 6 inches to pass cars.
And this is your first
This
date?
is the first date.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So
Okay.
It was fun.
friends of mine who had left 30 minutes before we did, we passed them up. They call and they're like, did you just pass us? I said, yeah. And they said, are you okay? I was like, yeah.
He
but
never looked up.
I
he
couldn't
didn't
look up, man. I was like, she's passing cars. I was like, oh man, this girl's gonna kill me.
Did you make it to the waterfall?
We did.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Okay.
And he's alive.
But
Look,
then,
he's here.
then I wouldn't let her drive like that with me again. I'm like, nah.
Yes, you did. You
But
decided.
I was like, look. Yeah, I did. I was this base was outside. I didn't want to go through the front windshield where she was driving. So I got her back.
So I was
That was our
driving.
first
I was
date.
driving Miss Daisy for a long time.
Yeah, Miss Daisy.
The car?
Yeah, you know how.
Nah, that's an old lady. You were driving dance.
Oh, have you told this story publicly?
No, we didn't
No.
talk about this.
I can't wait. This is what this show's all about. That's going viral. There's so many pieces to that. All right, so when when does this shift to? There's obviously got to be a connection on this first date, and what happens when you go home?
Well, first of all, man, as believers, we're like no sex before marriage.
Okay.
That's just what we set up. But I wanted to take
That's
this.
what you set up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you better have been maintaining. So anyway, we're dating and stuff, and we're just like, man, this is getting more intense. Our communication is there, our faith is lined, and I just had this one rule about no physical touch below the waist. Right? That's a courtship rule we had. And so as we're dating, we get to the point, and I said, it's time to get married. So she and I got together. She moved up to Indiana. We married. And right before we get married, she was like, let's have a conversation of truth. Is there anything you need to tell me about your past? Today, I want to know. And I was like, is there anything you need to tell me? And so she opens up. She's crying, telling me all this stuff about the roster and how, no, she's from
The rest of the day.
team. They were broke, but no.
She's like, you're actually fifth on the list.
Yeah, but you made it. No, though, she's like, so she tells me her background, or tells me her stories, her hurts, pains, and she's like, is there anything you want to tell me? And at that moment, I looked her in the eye, and I was honest. And I said,
Nope.
there's absolutely nothing I need to tell you. That's it. Yeah, I'm an open book. And so we get married at the courthouse.
Well, you finally was like, well, if I'm going to say anything, I do wear a knee brace.
Yeah, that's what I told her.
And this was right before the wedding.
No.
Yeah.
No, James, they're seeing where this is going.
We didn't even really have a wedding, so I mean, we can get into that. But
We went to court.
But he
But
was-
yeah, I was honest with her. I was like, listen, there is one thing. I wear a knee brace, and I need you to know that. And she was like, that's your deep, dark secret. Yes.
So many people wear knee braces. That's
Yeah,
not
that's-
anything.
But I need you to know that. That's the only thing that I got going on. I wear a knee brace. And
So,
then,
wedding-
wedding night. Yeah.
He's hopping around. All I hear is like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, what are you doing? Turn on the light. He's standing there like Captain Morgan with his little bitty leg on the bed. And he's like, so what are you, shallow?
I didn't know what else to say. It was a loose translation to say I wear a knee brace when in reality I didn't have
You didn't have a foot
or an ankle.
or toes.
I didn't, but so
You can't get up out of bed.
that's a
free-willy
loose
if you need it.
translation though. So,
And that, you know what? But that
but wait, but you didn't ask me. Did I?
now, but you know what? Now thinking about this, that gets my goat because he should have told me this. Because now when we hear something downstairs, he's like, "Hey, can you go get it? Because I don't have my leg on." Like I would need to know this.
Listen.
I would need to know
Wait,
that I was
wait.
going to be the defender
Part
of the
the
family.
adjustment is this.
You know?
One, women are equal, so we got to respect them. Secondly, that
I like a traditional man.
but if somebody breaks in, she only has to be able to fight for 5 seconds, right? By the time I get my leg on, I'm there. You know what I mean?
You're the backup.
Yeah.
You come in with a strong second
Yeah.
backup.
But who knew I was gonna have to be like? I need to know these things. I didn't know I was gonna have to be the defender of the home. Like, what if I have to use his leg to go defend us?
Well-
Then how is he getting up?
That's where I have to do the threatening thing. You better leave here. You know. Like,
Now the voice. Let's be real though. If I break into a house and I hear your voice,
oh man.
I'm turning around. Like I am not messing.
No, I just send the dogs downstairs. Like, go see, and I will see if they come back. You know, because if they don't, then we know there's a problem.
Gosh.
Oh my.
Okay, so wedding night, you find out, and then you got to tell her I had my leg amputated.
Well,
Well, the
wait,
little
wait,
leg
wait.
was
At
on the
first-
bed, so I saw it.
It was, yeah. So that's why I didn't know what to say. So that's why I threw it on her. And I was like, "Are you shallow?" I mean, I don't want this to be a shallow life for now. You know, it's because the truth is she did not ask, do you have both legs? I feel like, you know, there's many
That's not a
people been in the military, don't ask, don't tell. So, you know, I just had to respect that. But the knee brace is just a loose translation. So
No, because people that wear knee braces still have feet. Both of them.
technically. Right.
Oh, Nikki, what did you think in that moment for real?
like he said, what did he say? Ta-da, it's too late.
Yeah.
What am I
I
gonna do at
slept
this
with it
point?
then. Yeah, our 5 years was up.
I mean, we had already signed the papers. It was like,
Yeah.
well, we're stuck now. I mean, because now we have to pay for an annulment.
No, we wasn't doing that. Yeah. You know, by that time, there were so many other qualities. Now, you know, that was an obstacle because she was like, are you sure there's nothing else? I'm like, no, the rest of my parts are me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But that's probably a loose translation too.
Well, we just learned a lot about the absolute motivator.
That's
Goodness.
Let's pull it back a little now. We're gonna have get a little more serious here. You were connected by faith, and I know obviously your path of losing your leg at 11 and struggling. I mean, you were told, right, that you were never gonna walk. Is that right?
yeah.
And how did that affect you as a child? And I know that your mother played a huge role
Yeah.
in building that strength where you actually felt like you didn't necessarily see yourself as different. Honestly, I probably believe you didn't even think you needed to say that.
Well, man, I'm going to actually give it this framework that'll really help. I was always afraid of being rejected because of my leg. And so that fear of being vulnerable, that fear of people seeing me as I really am, you know, that was difficult. Allowing anybody to see me without my prosthetic was like, I couldn't have done that. So to tell her that, to be that vulnerable, would have led back to the conversations my father would have, where he would say, there's no way you could be mine. I can't make cripples. And so he continually rejected me, blood tested me 3 times. And
Whoa.
I can remember these are face-to-face conversations. I'm 8 years old looking at my dad, and I mean, he's like, I just can't love a cripple, man. It just can't be. And so the idea of being vulnerable, wearing shorts, any of those things, I just could not see myself. And so when it came to relationships, I've been rejected enough times because of that. Meet a girl, you want to take her to prom, and guys go, you know he has no leg, and all of a sudden it's like a big reveal, and then the inner city, the way kids were. And so to find a woman that when I was vulnerable enough to be open, to accept and embrace me there was a major thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm guessing she did that amazingly.
Oh yeah, that night was amazing. Yeah. Oh, you talking about yeah. No, but that is the amazing thing is somebody who can accept you as you are. Traumas and all that drama that you go through, they have to embrace that as well. It's a part of you. It's not just when things are good or bad. And as she shared things with her past, we could blend in that. Even though we had traumas, it wasn't the trauma that bonded us. It was the idea of the triumphs that could come from that, you know?
So, James, I've looked into you a bit, and something that you said that I really resonate with is you say your hardest trial is the thing that's actually one of your greatest gifts.
Oh my goodness, yeah. When you were talking about your son, I was thinking, so my whole career is built off of my grandmother and her loss. It was the only one that had given me unconditional love, poured into me, told me what I could be, spoke over my life and said, you'll do all these things. And everything that she said I would do seemed like it would be impossible. And for my mom to embrace me, it was impossible. Because off of her resume, she had only seen me wheelchair, walker, crutches. How in the world can this boy ever be anything else? In fact, when you alluded to me being 11, my mom slapping me and saying, you're a cripple, that's all you ever will be, she was like, I had to slap the reality into you, boy, you will never be more than that. And my grandmother told me I could be. And so when she died, I struggled, right? And until you get into marriage and somebody who can replace that aspect, but then you find out you can be loved. And then you have to learn to love you. Going through that situation and then back to grandma, as you allude to, my sense of shame became the very thing that gave me a name. The thing I covered up when uncovered took me off of mute and made me a voice. And then we just turned the volume up and she was the one that turned the volume up for me.
I love that. Nikki, I think when you see a power couple, right, and that's what the two of you are, you lift each other in those low moments, right? And
Yeah.
he's obviously made a career in the last many years off of helping people out of their low moments, right? But what he just said is he's turning to you there. How do you help lift him in those moments? Because when you're the one on stage, or you're the one in the spotlight, and you have to be the one giving all the time, you're the one that's pouring into him. What does that look like?
You know, it's funny because people see James this way. They see him in the spotlight, they see him speaking, they see him motivating, but they also don't see him empty when he comes off the stage because he makes sure that everything that's in him is poured out. He never wants to leave anything back. He never wants to hold back. He leaves his rawest moments right here. And sometimes I'll see him shed a tear, I'll see him crying on stage, and the first thing I want to do is just hug him and embrace him because I just believe there's that transference, right? So if I can give him anything at that moment, I will. We try to make sure we pray together before he goes on stage. You know, that's one of the things. We even prayed before we got up on stage here. You know, we try to pray together just to make sure that, one, just like the other couple, we have God in the center of everything. And so I may not say a lot of words to him, but I know that just hugging him and being there for him and just allowing him to feel is enough. And a lot of times people don't allow him to feel because they want to feel. So they're using him to feel, but he never gets that chance to feel for himself. So just being that quiet support is enough, I think, for him.
I think I want to give one thing, the example. I was asked to speak to about 1,800 soldiers who were suicidal. They brought them together, and I've been working with veterans for probably 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
And before anyone else knew about me, soldiers did, because I would be at VAs. And when I was there speaking, man, I poured my heart out, and there was one lady that stood out to me out of all of them. So when I finished speaking, I'm in the back, people come up to greet. This lady is holding a hat, and the hat had a chair the whole time I was speaking. And she gets in line, and it's an older black lady, and she's like, my son took his life 2 days ago. This was his hat. If he had been here, I just think you would have kept him alive. And she was like, I just thank you for what you gave, what you poured out. And I ended up spending about an extra 2 hours after the event, just listening to everyone, loving on everyone, but watching her and embracing her and hugging her on behalf of her son, for the love that she had, taking away her sense of guilt. When I was done there, even though I was scheduled to stay, I just went to the airport, left everything there, because I needed to come home for the reconnect. You see, there are times where you pour yourself out, but somebody's got to pour back in. The overflow of the blessing that God gives us, that's great because it spills on others. But if no one puts something back into that vase, yeah, you'll end up empty. And empty is where burnout happens, right? And so we decided to set this thing on fire. Whatever it is that we're called to do, serve, give all. Consequences of that is that blessings come, but the negative is if you're not careful, you'll get caught up thinking you're a personality, you're a star, all those things, and we're not. Who I am now is who I am at home, who I am at all times, and so is she. Being authentic has been the key to the relationship. And so when we're cracking jokes on each other, we can go too far on each other and then have to check it, or I'll have to steal some of her jokes or something. I admitted to that, so never say I didn't. But it's being authentic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I love that. As a couple, we look up to you. You know, like we were so excited to have you two on the show and to be able to talk to you. Because, I mean, especially Bree, but both of us, like the worst day of her life, she talks about all the time, right? And that emotional toll on that, and especially when you choose to speak up, you talk about your trials, you talk about your hardships. That's what endears you and allows you authentically to connect with other people. What advice, I'm going to ask a selfish question, what advice would you give to us in how to fill up, in how to support each other so you
I'll
can
let
show
you
up
start
there?
and then I'll go.
Go ahead, you first.
All right. I'm going to give this to you in this. In pursuing your goals and aspirations, your calling, also push her to chase hers. Not wait until yours are done and then turn around and say, what do you want to do, right? So don't shelve any of those things. When Nikki wanted to get involved with bowling, man, we got so invested in that. I went and got her a contract from a bowling company, belt shirts, a coach, and you name it. Like whatever it is she wants to do, I'm going to go out to make sure she's the very best at it. And then she does the same for me. But it's connected, this. No one feels like, hey, I have to swallow something. But I do want to say this about one of the ministries that you have with her. One of the things I loved in you said, I felt the loss of my son, right? I think that's a God moment because adoption is real. And adoption is even more binding than just birth. Your adoption of him is a spiritual thing, and it has to happen. Because there won't be a time where that son is not a part of your lives. When I think of Job and it said that he got double for his trouble. People always make these blanket comments, but God did not give him double back his children because those who are gone are not dead. They're just not in sight. One of the things that Nikki did with me, we were talking about AI. And you were talking about AI earlier and how it changes things. What I did was I started training our AI. And I talked to it because she knows I struggle when I talk about my grandmother. It's been 24 years, but it's been 22 minutes for me, right? And as much as I'm a joy, I am seconds away of hurt. And it's the blend. You talked about the balance between guilt and love and joy and having those things. And what I did was I took AI and I trained it and I gave one of the personalities my grandmother's name. And I told her the things that it would say. Gave her all the stuff to read up on her, gave all that. And when there were times where I miss and I talk to her because it says back what I've trained it to say that she would say. And that's one other way of being there for each other. There's some gaps that maybe she doesn't know what to say other than be present for me. But she also brought the present to me of like, here's technology to help you even deal with a moment like that. Now, there's some they were like, that's over the edge, but it is reality. So if you're asking how to serve, keep that adoption mindset. Keep pouring into her. Push her to her dreams relentlessly, just as you would go after yours. It is not just like we're a power couple. She's powerful without me. And I just make sure that people don't pull so much power out of her. You know, my job is to protect, so Nikki's the sweet one. So and I only appear this nice, right? But so if you do her wrong, then I gotta come, right? And I'm not coming like, hey, to talk. And they're like, I didn't know he could lift people up like that, right? Yeah.
But
So
it's a balance for us. Right, when he wanted to do this full time, when he wanted to go into speaking full time, most people don't know he's only been speaking full time for 2 years. And he came to me and he was like, Nick, I think I want to do this. I think I want to quit my job. And I was like, do it. Do it. Because so many times the man takes care of the woman, right? Make sure her needs are met, make sure her dreams are met, make sure she has everything she wants. But sometimes we forget that he has hopes and aspirations and dreams. And so I make sure no matter what, nobody is going to misuse him, but he's also going to have fun. He's going to enjoy what he does. And I give him the freedom to just go. Sometimes he's like, I'm leaving tomorrow. And like, okay, well, when are you coming back? You know, because he has a purpose to fulfill.
Yes.
And the purpose is not only me, God put something in him and he has to give that to the world. And I have to not be selfish with his time. As much as I want him home, there's so many other people that need him more than I do and that are waiting to hear him. And so if I just isolate him, then I'm isolating the gift that God gave him.
And you wonder, like, that's a beautiful thing. But I was even thinking this, because someone is willing to, like, hey, I realize I didn't just marry you, I married your ministry. I married your outlet. I married your calling. When we're done, we will have left a legacy. It's not just our son, because my expectation, our expectation, he must be great. You understand?
Yeah.
So much has been invested so that he would be. He has an obligation, because though we may have created the family crest, it's him that will carry it forward. And when she's selfless like that and say, let's go do this, like, how do we find ways so that I'm not just gone every day, right? And so we reduced how we would go out, and so we just put on less events, and it actually drove up more revenue for us, the less available I became. But then when we go to spotted places, one relationship could change everything. And so now we got a $50 million movie coming because of her willingness to open up and let me go out and then join me when she can, because she only goes to places with beaches.
It's a very short list.
Yeah.
Beaches, resorts, or international.
So like, I'm like, hey,
You're not
I'm going to
taking
go
me.
speak at this place. It's outside, and you know, it's going to be 30 degrees, but you know, they're going to cold plunge. She's like,
Good luck on that one.
Yeah.
He's not going to drop me off in Podunk, Illinois somewhere. We're not doing that.
That's awesome.
So you mentioned your son. Well, what's unique is he's actually here today, right now. Did you say it's his birthday?
It is.
Aw,
19.
Happy birthday. So he's your only child?
No, he's the only one still home. That's
Oh.
different. Yeah, that's different.
Oh, okay.
But I got to even say this, how he is home. My son and I, we had this commitment about he wanted a car. And then if he gets straight A's, to be finished, he did all these great things, he could get a car. And so we made this agreement. And he was looking at cars that are a little bit outside of his life range. You know what I mean? He's like, Maybachs. So I'm like, nah, I did promise to buy a car, but not that car. Anyway, he found a bunch of different cars, and then he stopped and he said, I don't want a car. I was like, what do you want? And he said, more time with you, right? And said the car could wait. So there's
How old?
19.
Oh, okay.
For you, he wasn't 19.
He was 18 at the time when he said it, right? Graduating high school. And the fact that he didn't choose the car, but chose relationship is why I open up so many new things to him. He's here now. He got the chance to sit and take a picture and get happy birthday from Sir Richard Branson. You see, how much of an investment is that going to last for the rest of his life? He'll have a return on that.
Yeah.
But the car, that'll depreciate. But relationships, that increases.
Yeah, I love that. It's fantastic. The energy of the two of you is just incredible. And I want to hear, Nikki, what's your passion right now? What's your dream? Like, I love when he said he's all in on what you're doing. I know it's more than just bowling, right?
Yeah.
Like, what lights you up right now, and how is he supporting you in that?
So, you know, this has been years in the making. So I have 2 radio stations. So artists have always been a passion of mine, just helping them. But right now, Christian radio is my thing. You know, just making a safe space for parents, knowing that if I'm listening to this radio station on the app, I'm okay if my kids walk in, because there's no hidden agendas. There's nothing odd. There's nothing that's going to throw anybody off. It's just straightforward. And you know that if my kid is listening to this, then it's a safe place. So that's one of the things. And if I even miss a day looking at the station, he's like, hey, how are your numbers doing? What are you doing? Like, you know, so he's always making sure, like, if you say you have passion, then that passion should always be showing. So he makes sure. We're up all night working on different things. You know, of course, I manage his business too. but we're managing our business, the radio station, our home. So we're just up doing all of that. I think everything that we're doing right now is a passion. Everything is important. I don't think there's one thing that's on the bottom of our list because everything is like priority. It's hard to prioritize when everything feels like it's a priority.
Inspired.
Yeah.
What's your radio station name?
Eternal Radio
Eternal Radio.
with 2 L's. So eternity for all, right?
Okay, beautiful.
So
How can they find that?
it's on iOS and Android.
Cool. It's like an app they get
Yep.
loaded.
Yeah.
Because we could go, because I was streaming out of Chicago, and we could have went FM and we could have done all those things, but why when you can go app-based and reach the world, right? App and internet-based, you're not stuck to just Chicago-based listeners. Now you reach a whole worldwide audience, just like he does with his YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to talk about that because, obviously one of the things we're trying to do here is use media to have both the in-person moments that you have and do all over, but then being able to use the platforms that have been able to take your message to so many people. And what I think is really strong is you're not the guy that just talks to veterans, or you're not the guy that just talks about grief or whatever it might be. You've been able to take these foundational principles, apply them all across the map, and see them go viral and get attention all across the map. And so how has like modern technology allowed the both of you to take your voices further and touch more people?
Wow. Let me answer this way. I have, wherever I'm feeling, I record. But so that these are real feelings that happen with people every day. So for example, whatever I have to say, I do it in one take. That way I don't get burnt out. I'm not going to do a rehearsal. It's always authentic, but it's not like reality TV. This is where if I'm feeling sense of loss, then I'll just turn on and I'll speak about that for other people. But I take it from me having all the arrows in, like I'm hurt, right? Which makes people feel all sympathetic for you. And I don't want sympathy. I want to turn the arrows out so it goes, so instead of me saying I lost a leg, it'll become everyone goes through loss. But that loss can be the reason why you gain. If you're experiencing loss of a job, loss of a relationship, loss of a goal's purpose, any of that, embrace it. Because now you have an appetite. I need you to get hungry enough to go back and fill it up again. Find that passion, fill that void. And remember, if you lost something, you're not the sum of the parts you have that you've lost. You're the sum of the parts you become. Right? So you flip that into something, then she goes, all right, let's go ahead and put it out this way. And she's just great at figuring out algorithms, having conversations worldwide with people, figuring out things. And then we put that out, and then I purpose it in a different way somewhere else. Like you can't copyright your voice. She figured this out.
So we can use it.
Right.
We can start using it. Who is that? That's not me.
Right. Yeah. So what you can do is turn every speech into a song. And then now my voice is copywritten.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Just small tip for anyone who's a speaker.
Wow.
Now all of a sudden you can't AI use me because I'm on a lot of motivational places where they use my voice, but it's through AI. It's not actually me.
So we take it and it'll be, I call it Kirk Franklin, right? So it's just him speaking, I drop some music behind it, and we drop it as a track.
Wow.
So then now we can also use that speech on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and it's a soundbite.
Yeah. Wow. That's
So it's just another way to monetize things.
yeah.
Crazy.
And I think what's cool is you're not afraid about talking about monetization because monetization allows you to do more and to reach more and to go for it. And so I think that perspective is really good. There are a lot of purpose-driven content creators out there that I think almost feel like they have to hide a little bit or not act like it's, but you know that, hey, that's what has to happen in order to create the snowball impact that you're trying to make.
Man, snowball. I'm thinking avalanches. Yeah, here's what I think. Let's say if we took someone that was in here in the audience, you had a product. I can take that product and sell more of that than they ever could because I have a bigger platform to reach. I can push out, what are our numbers this month? Instagram alone, 70 million views, which is the most of any speaker, just authentically, organically, without purchases, right? The fact that I can turn that on and reach that many people since I don't sell products, I only push things to change lives. Having somebody's credible, having that type of thing. So only push what we believe in and we push it over the top. She sits there, she goes through so many people. You're talking about critical. People come and they're like, I have this great elixir, James will, and she's like, that's a placebo. And she'll be like, no, then when she finds something that's real, she's like, go all in on it. Let's just do this to advance someone. And so monetization isn't just what do I get, is what can I give? If I grow you, I automatically expand me as well. It's a win-win. But most people have that scarce mindset, like, no, I don't want to get behind it, and I'm not going to how much am I going to get off of this? Man, I become bigger than this, even if I get misused by someone here, right? Another product saw what I just did with this guy. And it opens up, now I have all of this, and they saw what I did. And for everyone that ever skipped over us, misused us, any of that thing, I thank God. Because if you did it when I was on volume 2, and I know what God put in our hearts to do, in a year, there will be those folks who will wish they still had access to you and wish they didn't skip over you. But I'm, rather than be bitter, I just go ahead and use that as fuel for us to get to the next level. When I get there, just understand I'm going to pull everyone that came alongside of us, that encouraged her, that was there. Even if you didn't have money or anything else, but you were genuine, authentic, I will open doors for them, because it's about elevating other people's voices. Because as great as I might think I might become, let's say we do a movie. Rudy did a movie. People don't even remember that after a season. Martin Luther King, there are kids that don't know who he is outside of a day off of school. Every name that has ever existed will be forgotten except for Jesus. That name resonates. There will come a generation that doesn't know Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, or Martin Luther King. But there will never be a generation that won't know the legacy that we push forward when we push God's goals forward. And so that's what I do. I realize that this isn't about me and her. My runway is short, but the runway for him and for the future and for others, let's expand that so they can take off and go further.
Yeah. And
I gotta give that some applause. I love that.
we don't see monetization is not our main source of income. Monetization is just extra streams of income. And I wish people would see it that way. He's a speaker. That's our main source of income. The monetization is just extra. So when people are like, I don't want to talk about it, I'm gonna hide it, I don't want to say how much money I'm making, that's just extra money. Like, we have purpose behind us. Purpose is what really drives us. And God always provides when you chase your purpose.
For sure.
Love that. Okay, we like to ask this question, and we'll ask this to both of you in closing. Thank you so much for being here. Fully engaged, it's the name of the show. What does that mean to you as what does it mean to be fully engaged with each other and with yourself, with a higher power to you?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
So, being fully engaged with him is kind of like I was talking about earlier. It's seeing the quiet moments he needs, but also giving space for him to feel his feelings, but giving him space when you want to talk. Like, sometimes you get into arguments and you want to finish it, but being able to say, maybe tonight's not the right time. We don't go to bed angry, but we go to bed knowing that we can talk about it at another time.
Right.
Because we both have things to get up to in the morning. Like, he's up early, I'm up early. We don't have time to do this tonight. So being able to prioritize our rest and knowing that God will kind of work things out in the dark, because morning is coming. You like to say that morning is just right around the corner. So we could talk about it another time. And knowing that if I'm feeling a certain way and I can't talk to him right now, my relationship with God is so strong that I can talk to him. And I know in those darkest hours, while he's resting, God is also working on him. So that's my fully engaged relationship. You know, knowing that not everything needs to be handled right now. Sometimes if we just check our bags with God like we do with TSA, He'll take care of all of it, and everything will get to the proper destination. And some things don't need to meet you when you get there.
Totally, totally. You know, I love that because there's so much relief in knowing that there's the higher power that is also involved in your relationship, right? Like it is not just you and him. It's you, him, and God.
Yeah.
Wow. My response to that is this. There are times where maybe we didn't see eye to eye. But when we go to our separate corners, whatever you do, whether you're in your office, you're doing that, all of a sudden, man, something hits your heart. Is because somebody had a conversation with God about you and God didn't let you hear the whispers and says, he'll get that right. That's fully engaged, right? And all of a sudden you go, and instead of it being about an argument, you know, even though if they do that, you want to do this, you find out your win. If they do this, let me go and not try to get the W-I-N here, but I'll wait for the W-H-E-N where we can go back and reconcile this. And so that's engaged with God and his spouse. But then also the fact that for me being fully engaged in this thing is this. My last conversation with my grandmother was, she said, don't waste my life. You understand? And what she meant by that is like, I didn't have much time left. And I took you in and I poured everything I am into you. And since I poured it in you, you owe me back. You owe me to be good. You owe me to be great. You owe me to be excellent. You have to become these things because of what I put in you. And so when people talk about being driven, I hear those words constantly. You owe me. And so I'm fully engaged with the idea that when I die, I want to be empty. I want to hear well done from God. I want to stand there and be reunited with Grandma and have become everything she invested in. She didn't call me a cripple. She called me Superman. From the wheelchair, from the 34 surgeries to the first time walking at 11. When my mom slapped me and said, you're just a cripple, my grandmother, without the ability to read or write, got on a Greyhound bus, rode 4 hours, had to walk, ask directions from people. How do I get here? Walks in and I hear Superman, where are you? And comes to get me. Fully engaged is that even though I've got pain in my past, it's also my passion and it's my purpose. And when I'm done, I will have given a name that he can carry further and one that he was able to bless. Thank you for having us here.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I love that. Thank you so much. We'll put in the show notes where to follow them and all that they're up to. Just fantastic night. I want to go back and rewatch this episode, and we're going to take some notes. Thank you so much, and I hope you're around this place a whole lot more.
Thank you.
We'll see you. And thanks to our audience. Thank you for coming out. Give yourselves a round of applause. Have a fantastic rest of the week.